Welcome to Entertainment is Dead. I am Chuck. We are back here with another episode. We're on episode 60 something. Tom, what are we on? Yeah, 69! We need to do a celebration about it.
69, dude.
Anyways, so I am your host. If you haven't watched this podcast before, feel lucky because we've gone through a lot of iterations and we still have this pile of dog shit you're watching today. So
I know. We think with all the change that we'd come up with a better product, but just
no,
Nope.
we're keeping it the same. We don't learn from our bad decisions. So with me tonight, I have Arthur.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Arthur.
Hi.
All right. We also have Vance in the house.
How's everybody doing tonight?
We're doing
Awesome. Just the answer I was looking for.
How's everybody doing? Awkward stares.
Well, I didn't know if it was directed at us or if it was directed at all the people in chat, all 5 of them or 2 of them. And also, we have Thomas Winkley running all the computers, making the things happen.
I was running all the buttons. I didn't unmute my mic when I was telling everyone that it was episode 69. And good news, I didn't, because it's actually only episode 68. So.
Oh, what does that mean?
68 and I owe you one.
Is that like the bubble butt? Is that like what is that? Like, I gotta ask the guys at Through Being Cool. Like, what is 68?
All right, that's our question. At Through Being Cool podcast, get at us. What is the sexual innuendo behind number 68?
Is it like having sex with the Michelin Man?
I mean, just tell us. What is it? Is it
I
like?
want to know.
No, it's where you get yours, but you don't give back, and you owe them next time. Next time, 69. 68 tonight.
We also need to tell those guys I was able to insert a joke at Tom saying that he had a high set dick today.
Oh, he was. I'm surprised I didn't see that on Twitter. What was it? It was about like, what did you say about my high set dick?
Well, basically, I trolled your conversation with Danielle. Danielle was talking to you.
That's
And it
right.
transitioned into you wearing Danielle's clothing, and she wears those high-waisted shorts. So I said something about you getting high-waisted shorts so you could
Cover my
do
high
something
set
for
dick.
your high-set dick.
So, a shout out to those guys. If you haven't listened to their last 2 episodes, so the way we came across the guys from Through Being Cool, a little bit of history, is that they had a podcast called Laser Brain back in the day. And it was basically these 3 dudes would get together, and they were all roommates, and they would just talk terrible shit on everybody in their town. And it was so goddamn funny. Like, and it even escalated, if I remember, that he, like, said something really terrible about a girl that sat in his college math class, and she was a listener of their show. Like, and I mean, it was basically just them getting together and just saying really awful things. And so I'd listen to it because it made me feel like, hey, I'm not a terrible person. Like, look at these guys. These guys are way worse than me, right? And then they went their ways, all kind of moved on, did our own stuff, and they all came back, or 2 of them came back, Nick and Patrick, to do Through Being Cool. And they had Tristan, who was the 3rd member of Laser Brain, on their last 2 episodes. So it was like a reunion. It was pretty great.
I think I need to be on their show, except for I think it would be mostly them heckling me.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
dude.
fine.
They would cut you up, man. But I would love Through Being Cool. Shout out, we want to be on your show. I don't know how you do it. Skype us in. We'll Skype you into wherever the hell you're from. You're on the East Coast somewhere.
I'll just play along with all your jokes. I like them.
What?
I like them.
Yeah, they're good dudes. Anyway, so yeah, get at us. What is the sexual innuendo behind the number 68? Let us know Through Being Cool, or the girls from Hello Sweetie. Somebody let us know.
All
We
right.
don't know about sex. Someone teach us.
Look at these beards. Come on.
So tonight, after we're done getting through what everybody's been playing this week, which I could probably sum up what everybody's been playing this week. After we're done getting through that, we're going to talk about game breakers, game changers, aka game breakers.
It's kind of like Daybreakers, but less vampires.
Combo breakers?
That was a great movie.
It was a good movie, wasn't it?
I don't even like Josh Hartnett, but that was a good movie.
Oh, he's so good.
And-
Lucky number 11. Come on.
Yeah.
We gonna start crushing on Josh Hartnett.
You know it. Oh, it's already
A little
there,
bit.
man. I'm already there.
Tom has this like hard on for movies that I would call a straight B.
You didn't like Lucky Number 11, really?
It was okay.
Jesus Christ.
It was a B.
Jesus Christ, Terra.
Jesus. Tara.
Terra. Dylan,
We came out-
none of us are playing Destiny, Dylan, so we're not going to talk about it.
I'm playing.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I re-rolled. Anyways, I was gonna say I want to talk about this for a minute too, because Tom loves, like I said, mediocre movies. What was that one that you recommended to me? The soccer movie.
Green Street Hooligans.
Green Street Hooligans is amazing.
Yes, it wasn't that great. Green Street Hooligans was not that great. I just
Come on,
want.
Lance.
Yeah.
Don't you want to learn about soccer?
It was B.
Dude,
it
it
was
was such a good movie.
Yeah.
Arthur, back me up on this, dude.
It's solid, man.
It's
Green
a-
Street Hooligans, the sequel. I'm with you all the way.
No, Green Street Hooligans was the worst. 2
Yeah.
was the worst.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
It was direct to video, but the first one, Elijah Wood, the guy from Sons of Anarchy, they were actually okay.
Like selling cocaine at Harvard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Elijah Wood hasn't had a good role since what? One movie?
Wait, who?
Never mind.
Who hasn't had a good role?
Do you want me to go IMDb Elijah Wood and show you the awesomeness he's been in?
He's only been in like Lord of the Rings and
Hey, he was
No
in The
way,
Good
did you ever
Son.
see
The Good Son.
Did you ever
And
see
he
him
was
in
the
the
good
serial
son.
killer movie?
Yeah,
Where he played
Maniac.
the serial killer? Maniac. That was a great film.
Oh, he was in Sin City.
And he played a great maniac in that as well.
Yeah.
He's also in The Last Witch Hunter. Bitches. That's a
The
terrible
fuck is
movie.
that?
Oh, dude, it was like one of those like legendary, not quite straight to DVD movies. I think Vin Diesel was in it, and he has like a flaming sword that he attacks modern day witches with.
Actually, that movie isn't out yet. The Last Viking or whatever the fuck he's doing.
Let's see.
When I saw the trailer for that, I was like, wow.
Okay, first of all, good roles. She's Shay in Broken Age, which is an amazing game. And he's in the Tron Uprising TV series that I never saw.
Did it ever
Ever
happen?
heard of?
It happened in 2012 and 2013. Apparently, there's episodes listed.
Man, it must have been really
Dude.
good.
He was in Happy Feet 2. Happy Feet 2.
I'm just gonna have to take your word on that one.
I almost would rather watch Happy Feet too.
Happy Feet 1 was, I don't know, man. Happy Feet 1 was so bad.
Happy Feet 1, Penguin Street Hooligans. Amazing. So good.
Like, and here's the thing is, you want to make a movie about penguins, all you have to do to please me is generally just put penguins in it, and I'm stoked. And I still hated Happy Feet, so that's how bad that movie was. He was in Deep Impact.
A fucking shark ate me. Oh,
That-
wait, wrong
that's
guy.
Deep Blue
Deep Blue
Sea.
Sea.
You know how
Yeah.
much that stings?
I just hear deep, and I go for it.
I don't know why we're talking about Elijah Wood anymore.
Cause we crushing on him, we crushing on Josh Hartnett.
Mm-mm.
They were both in Sin City. We already played it. We brought it around.
I really liked Sin City. In fact, I've thought about being Marv for cosplay. So, but anyways. All right, so what's everybody been playing this week? Vance, go first.
It's a good question, man. I've been doing a lot
Quake
of
3 Arena.
no. Surprisingly enough, no. I've been doing a
Doom?
lot of emulated stuff. Been going back to the classics.
You've been emulating Doom?
No, I have not. I don't need to. I have the Doom Ultra, awesome, mega awesome from Steam, and I recommend if you are a Doom fan and you are jonesing for that hit that Doom 4 is going to be or Doom is going to be, go onto Steam and download the Doom Collector's Pack. It has Doom 3, Doom 3 expansion, Doom 2, Doom 2 expansion, Doom 1. It's awesome, and it works with all the mods too. So if you want to play like Ultimate Doom or any of those amazing mods that are floating around, you can do that too. But that's not what I've been doing. That's not what
Oh,
I've been
can I ask you a question really quick? Did you finish Doom 3 expansion?
Yes, I did. I thought it was good, dude.
I've started it twice or 3 times and I still haven't finished it.
Well, pull your balls out of your purse, Nancy, and get it done. You know, I don't know what to say.
Let me go find my purse.
Nailed it.
The
You
purse,
want-
it's behind your future man bun.
Oh,
Elijah Wood is holding your purse with your balls in it.
gotta bring the man bun into this shit, didn't you? Says the leprechaun with a beard.
Damn. Leprechaun, that doesn't
Dude,
make
the only thing
sense.
about
He
my
looks
beard
just
that's freaking me out is like right here.
It's like a lumberjack and a leprechaun fucked and made Tom.
Hey man, you need a tree cut down and a pot of gold underneath it? I'm in. Yep.
Anyways,
It's a human
so
form of
yeah,
haggis.
back with what you're saying.
So no, I've been playing a lot of emulators lately. A lot of Super Nintendo or Super Famicom,
Hell yeah, dude.
and a lot of TurboGrafx 16. And that's why I said it earlier. Before we went live, I was like, man, I want a TurboGrafx or I want a PC Engine. I know they're the same thing, but one's Japanese, which is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of cooler, I guess, because it's
I
from
don't,
Japan. I don't know.
I don't
It's
think
got
I
better
even-
hair, that's for sure.
What year did TurboGrafx come out?
Oh gosh, 92? Does that sound about right?
Let's
Yeah, I
find
thought it
out.
was 92 or 93.
What year did Turbo?
I didn't even know anybody who had a TurboGrafx.
Yeah, it was. Well, the TurboGrafx was the American release of the PC Engine, but it wasn't region locked. I don't believe. I think you could play.
TurboGrafx 16 hit Japan in '87 and hit the US in '89.
Jesus.
Oh wow,
Mm-hmm.
we were way off. I said 92 because that's when I got one when I was a kid, but I had
Yeah.
no idea. You know, I had no idea what I had at the time. I
You
just
were
knew
one
it.
of those kids that had all the fucking systems.
Dude, I had a lot of systems. I can thank my rich grandmother for that. I had a Neo Geo, bro, and I had a Neo
Yeah.
Geo when it was relatively
What do you
new.
do with all these?
Respect.
Dude, I sold them. I sold them when I got into PC gaming, which was the stupidest thing I ever did. I should have kept a hold of them. I still have my Sega Genesis and my Super Nintendo, and I still have my Sega Saturn downstairs. But I just don't play them because,
There was a release for Sega. I want to say it was Sega Saturn or Sega CD. They did an Aliens game that was so fucking sick at the time. It was a first-person shooter.
Are you sure it wasn't Jaguar?
Maybe it was Jaguar.
Maybe it was a 3DO.
It was Aliens versus Predator.
No,
Yes, it
it
was.
was an AVP. No, it was just Aliens.
Are you sure?
Viewers, tell me what it was. Yes. Anyways, moving on. Did you anything
Okay.
else you want to talk about that you played this week, Vance?
Well, no, that, and I got back into Resident Evil a little bit.
Have you
the
finished
remake.
that yet?
No, I haven't. I'm savoring every bite. I'm starting to really enjoy it. I'm getting to the point where I'm just really staring at walls and just really enjoying it. Yeah, I'm gonna have way more time this weekend. I got banned from the airsoft, from the indoor airsoft arena for a week, so I got a little extra time this week to either work or play video games. So I'm excited about that.
You got banned. What did you do?
Oh, I had a little argument with somebody on the field, and he ended up making a way bigger deal out of it than it should have been. And it was just stupid. I'll tell you in private, but yeah, it was just ridiculous. It was just this whole stupid thing. And let's put it this way: I let it go, and then Monday morning I wake up and Facebook is just flooded with third-party accounts of what happened by people. I'm like, that guy wasn't even fucking there, man. What's he doing? Writing about it? I'm like, that's not how it happened. There weren't aliens present. But it ended up going around Facebook, ended up going down the Utah airsoft community, and turned into, it was like a game of telephone. Like by the end, I was dating Susan Sarandon, and there's all kinds of shit that was going on. I was
Nice.
like, holy hell!
I think it was called Alien Trilogy.
All right.
I think that's what it was. Because you were playing as Ripley, if I remember correctly. Oh, maybe it wasn't that one. Fuck it, I don't remember. It's gonna bug me now.
Don't worry, it'll
It
come to you
was-
tonight in your sleep. You'll be like, Dumbo, Dumbo, I got it, I got it.
Anyways,
Dylan, the question was, what was the shooter aliens game that was not AVP, and we're not sure if it was on the TurboGrafx or on the Jaguar.
it was Sega CD or
Sega CD, maybe.
It was definitely not on Sega CD.
It,
There was no alien game.
yeah.
On
Anyways,
I posted an image that I found of AVP for the Jaguar, Lance.
I know. I looked at. There's a bunch of them. Anyways, what have you been playing this week, Arthur or Tom, or at once?
Rocket League.
God, Rocket League is so
It's so
good.
good.
It is
Goal.
so good. No, you go first, and I'll jump in on it.
No, just like I love demolition derbies and I love soccer, and that's two great tastes that taste great together.
Oh, snap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it had a little bit of a learning curve for me because I just couldn't handle how fast paced it was. Like I would just totally overshoot the ball regularly, but now I got a handle on it. I love that game. It's so fun.
Oh man, I can't
Can
remember.
I
Was
kill
it?
people in that game?
You
No,
can
Yes.
blow up into them. Yeah, you run into them and demolishes them.
that's true. Like imagine. So was it the 24th? Or was it the 25th that we were playing that? Is it Saturday night? You and I were playing Arthur with your buddy.
Thanks
Yeah, I
for
think it was
the invite,
Saturday.
fuckers.
Well, I don't know what you were
You're too
doing.
busy playing Destiny or laying sod or some shit.
Or laying pipe
No,
underneath
on
the
Elijah
sod.
Wood.
So but dude, it doesn't matter if you suck at it. It is an absolute fucking riot. I'm terrible at it. Basically, all I do is hold the afterburner and just charge at the ball violently for 5 minutes, and I am loving it.
Dude, you were an assist man on that weekend game we played. You had like 2 or 3 assists in one game.
Like it is so much fun, and the way you can control directions while you're in the air, God, I love it. I love the fact that
really
the ball's coming, you
jealous of
jump, and
that.
then you can hold the direction and jump again and knock the ball into the goal, or you can just blast it anywhere.
Oh, and I love denying goals when they shoot
my
the ball really
gosh.
hard and it's like seems like it's going in and you hit turbo and then just cut it right off and I'm just like my
Backflip.
favorite achievements are denying the achievements of others. I don't know what that says about me, but there it is.
We think alike. You and I think alike.
Defensively
I love
minded.
denying other people. I love when people have better. I'm gonna Destiny relate this. I love it when people in PS4 have better gear than me, and I shut them down. Like they've got the Vex Mytho class, and I fucking wreck them with some like really shitty blue gun or something like that. Makes me really happy.
So we've been, man, I don't know. I could talk about freaking how awesome Rocket League is all day. I think for what it is, it's just perfect. And it's funny because I was getting lunch today with one of our coworkers, Yasek. He's been on the show before, and we were talking about gaming. He's like, dude, I've been playing Rocket League on PC like crazy. And I was like, what? And you're playing it, Lance. You should be playing it, Vance. You need to be playing it. What game? Didn't we have a game, Arthur?
We
where
can play on the same system, or we can all play on the same game.
Yeah, I'm
That's
so
fine.
down to play Rocket League with you guys. Can you do 5-on-5 or is it just 3-on-3?
Oh, I don't know. We were
Three's
playing
all I've
3v3.
seen. But maybe you can put a custom match where you have like a bigger team, but I don't think the fields are big enough to support like more than 3 on
5v5 would be so much chaos.
That would be so cool though.
Didn't we have a game, Arthur, where the last minute the entire opposing team rage quit because we were winning so hard?
Uh-huh.
Like we were up like 6-0.
Yeah, and then just
Screaming at
bots
each
showed
other.
up. And
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
then it
oh,
was-
where'd everyone go?
Oh, I guess we'll have to play bots now.
But yeah, so I've been playing the hell out of Rocket League, and I've been playing a little bit of Final Fantasy 14. Tom got me back on the drug, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
And I've been
If I
playing
could get
Darkest
that game
Dungeon.
for cheap, I'd play with you guys.
We gotta hunt you down a PS4 copy on the cheaps.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan,
Maybe I'm
Dylan
like
King in our chat is saying Splatoon. Can't get away from that game.
I've heard nothing but good about Splatoon, but I don't have a Wii U, so I can't play Splatoon.
So Arthur's playing Final Fantasy again. God damn it!
And Darkest
You
Dungeon.
guys, you're like cheating on me. Well, I never really joined the PS4. I did join the PS4 community. And I raged. I raged on the Xbox, and now I'm on PS4. And I'm actually really, really liking it. But enough about me. Arthur, continue with what you're saying.
No, that Final Fantasy, and then I've been playing Darkest Dungeon the past week and a half, just like crazy. So.
Isn't that part of what's kind of sparked the conversation tonight? Is because of that game?
Yeah. Did you guys want to talk about it now, or did you want to talk about Thomas, what he's been doing and you this week?
Tom,
Let's
go.
do what we've been doing, and we'll just roll into
Yeah.
it. So I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy. I actually I hit 50. I finished the Realm Reborn story, and now I am blasting through the patch quests to get to. I still can't play Heaven's Ward. I'm almost there. I've got like 55 quests to go or something before I can start Heaven's Ward. So I've
So,
just been gearing up my Paladin.
so if I bought the game now and I bought Heaven's Sword,
No, just Realm Reborn right now.
so that's all I need.
It's all you need because you can't do any of the Heaven's Ward content until you complete all of the main scenario quests for Realm Reborn, and that'll. I mean, you don't. The thing that sucks is once you've finished Realm Reborn story quests, a lot of the dungeons and things they have you do don't give you any experience because they patched them in when there wasn't any more levels, and so in their mind, you don't need experience because you can't gain any more levels. So there's a lot of thankless work. Uh,
Wow.
like I've done as many quests probably as I did between 45 to 50, and I'm not 51 yet because I'd say 60% of the quests don't give you experience except for when you complete it. So it's pretty rough that way. But again, play Realm Reborn because we can all come back and play with you and help you get to 50. And then once you finish all of that patch content, then by Heaven's Word, because then you can start doing that stuff.
Well, let me ask you a question. So I have to buy the original game.
Yes.
I get a free month, but then I have to pay monthly, and I have to buy the expansion for $40.
Welcome to MMOs.
Yeah, dude. I mean, all MMOs are doing that. Like the only MMO you can get into cheap now is if you buy World of Warcraft now, because I think you get all of this stuff except for the latest expansion when you buy the original game now.
Yeah.
Which, Dylan, I am super jealous that you've been playing Wolfenstein Old Blood. I bought that and I have not played it yet, and I really want to because I love.
I kind of want to play
Wolfenstein.
that, just the original for right now.
Dude, Wolfenstein on PS4 or PC was New Order was so good, so stellar. Yeah, great shooter. But yeah, I've been Final Fantasy. A little bit on my Vita TV. Tried to play the Street Fighter V beta this last weekend and ended up playing Final Fantasy because it was totally fucked.
Yeah, that was a bummer to hear.
But good on them. Good on them for doing the beta literally a year before launch and realizing that they were not ready to handle the server tech, because that's what betas are for.
Yep.
And so while it may not have been the most successful beta, at least they learned it now, so they can go back and take all that data, fix the servers, and they're still going to give the community 3 full betas just at a later date. But it was really shitty because I had my weekend booked. Like, I was going to be doing this, and basically, to get into games, you had to sit there and just reload the menu and keep hitting start and hoping that it would connect you in.
Holy shit! You can get a used copy of Final Fantasy Realm Reborn for $5 at Best Buy right now.
Well, is it playable?
Used. It's a used copy. Do you have to get it new?
I know. Does it have an activation code? I can't remember. I think it
I
has
think
an
you
activation
guys all bought
code.
it digitally, right?
I did. Yeah, I did digital.
I'll just buy the brand new. You can buy it brand new for $20.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's cheap. Do it.
Yeah, sold.
And Tom, on your point, betas are not to test things. Betas are to give me the game a year early. And they failed. And I went on Twitter and I was very mad. Hashtag broken. Hashtag epic fail. Hashtag give me mine.
You know, it's funny because there were some people raging, but overall, it was pretty impressive. And I know we're going to talk about this episode about, patch you later and all the crazy shit. Yeah, Dylan, I'm glad you also got shafted. I'm not glad you got shafted on the Street Fighter beta, but it was cool that that community was very supportive and like, hey man, we're glad this is happening during the beta. Like, that was the resounding stuff from most of the community, was like, stoked that the beta is the problem, not the launch. So
Yeah.
but it was still a bummer because I really wanted to play Street Fighter V. I got to play almost over half a match and 10 minutes of training mode all weekend. So, and I picked Bison for the training mode, so I didn't really get to learn a lot because I don't like Bison very much. So,
I did play something besides Destiny this week.
thank God.
Do tell.
I got Journey. I had already,
Nice.
yeah. Well, I'd already purchased it on PlayStation, and this is actually when I bought my PlayStation 4, I was debating on just like ditching my old handle and everything, but I had some problems. It was tied to my my email and everything. Anyways, so I got a free copy of Journey on my PlayStation 4 because they actually brought that over. Yeah.
Oh, is that a cross buy?
Yeah, so if you own it on PlayStation 3, you get
sick.
it. Yeah, you'll get it for free on 4.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. So
See, that's one thing Sony's been really great about. Like, their cross-buy stuff has been really neat. Not all of the games have embraced that, but it is really nice. Like, especially with Journey, because I bought Journey a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and I've never finished it. And when I saw they released it on PS4, I was like, man, I'm not going to buy that again. But I'll definitely play it. So, pretty cool.
well, I don't know if we can get into the same game. I hope we can.
I don't think Journey has multiplayer, is it?
I don't think it works like that, but yeah, I'm excited to beat that. Shout out to Castroided. They had me on their show not too long ago, and one of the things that we talked about was shame gaming, like games that we should have finished that we were ashamed we didn't finish. and Journey was on my list. So yeah, I'm gonna try and crank that out. I hit 34 on PlayStation 4 with my Hunter. And I will say the PlayStation community is not as good as the Xbox community,
You've already
as
said
to
it.
skill level. So
That's gonna change.
the only thing I can say, I feel like in when you're in trials, people are really good. People are good at the game. I'm not saying like you go into trials and it's just a walk in the park. It's not. But I do feel like their strategies and their abilities are not as good from what my experience has been so far. So that's why my kill to death is so much higher now.
I
Anyways,
think you have gotten higher in 3 weeks of PS4 Destiny on your character than I have in 6 months. So
I went from
kudos to you.
2.5 weeks all the way grind, no gear to 34. So I did get help. I've got some friends on PlayStation that helped me out. So yeah, Toby1, shout out to you and Mockman. Thanks for helping out. Anyways, moving on. So our topic tonight: games that, what did I call it again before? Patches and game changers that have caused that. We can talk about what's been good, what hasn't been good. I'm up for both. So this was kind of, I think, sparked from Arthur. So I'm good if you want to go first on that.
Okay. Well, since I mentioned I've been playing Darkest Dungeon, that game is still in a beta. It's pre-release, early access. So they're still making a lot of changes to the game as they go. And one that was just released, I think it was about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It was called the Hound and the Corpse update. They released a new character and made some game changes. And a lot of them, well, not a lot of them, but a handful of them made the game a little more difficult than it already was, and it's a pretty difficult game, especially with a steep learning curve. So I went on Steam and checked out the forums and everything like that, and there was a huge backlash of people just complaining, like, gonna quit the game, too hard, things like that. And kudos to the developer. They kind of stuck to their guns and were like, we want you to play this game differently. We're not trying to make the game harder and unplayable. We want you to play it differently. And
See, and I think to cut you off real quick, I think it's
yeah.
cool when developers do that, because there have been games. I'm trying to think of them, but games where I guess The Last of Us is a great example, where I hit these points that were just so hard, and I couldn't get past them, but it's because I was doing it wrong. Like, my strategy was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And any game, I think, that forces you to go back and reevaluate your strategy before proceeding, that's great mechanics, man. Like,
Yeah.
if it's not too hard because of broken mechanics, that's awesome. That they have that level of control over their development where you need to have a good strategy to beat this.
Well, and the thing that I found is before this update, I was just going into dungeons with the party that I wanted, the characters that I liked, the heroes that I liked. And then after this update that made it a little more difficult, it forced me to take the best party suited for the dungeon. So, in a way, it actually kind of made it easier because it showed me, like, no, hey, dummy, don't take 3 warriors and a healer into this dungeon. Take a plague doctor, take a healer, take this. So, and I trust Red Hook, the company that makes this game. I kind of trust them more than I would other game companies to put out a solid update and change the game as they see fit. So,
Well, and I think that I cannot fucking say words, man. What the hell? I think it's cool again that they're forcing you to use all the instruments in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not just saying, yeah, just go play our game. We don't care. But the fact that you're gonna now explore and understand the plague doctor. Yeah, just glad they're gonna stretch you out.
well, and actually, after I remember when I came over to you at work right after they released the update, and I complained about how, because what happens is you meet a party of 4 in a dungeon for a fight, and you would drop the first 2 melee enemies, and then it would scoot the ranged enemies that were at the back up to the front, and then your melees could just go ham on them. So what they did is, so after you drop someone in the first 2 ranks, they drop as like a corpse. So it like is still an obstruction. The ranged people are still at the back. You have to figure out different strategies to still get at the people at the back. And so I went up to you and I complained like, "Man, they made this game really hard." And I was like bitching about it. I figured out it took me a day or two, and then it actually made the game easier after I learned how to play it as intended. So but I just still, I never forgot just comment after comment after comment, people on Twitter that were just like, game's broken, done. And I'm just like, okay.
Like, it doesn't take much, does it?
Nope.
Well, and I think that's another thing too. Is I don't want to say gamers are soft, but game design has become so intuitive, and a lot of the stuff is kind of just like force fed to us in this very, not force fed, but it's handed to us in this very smooth, very easy to adapt to way, and we're used to things. In the modern generation, if you didn't play the older games, my example is the Strider port they did for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It took me like the first 30 minutes of me playing that game, I was dying in the first 15 to 20 seconds because the game doesn't coddle you at all. It's just like, here you fucking go. Good luck, bro. And you're just getting your shit rocked until you realize, oh, I have to think and dodge. And they had the same problem as it with Metroid when they released Metroid on the Wii U eShop. And they had people like posting screenshots of boss fights that were really pretty easy, but they were like, I can't do this. How do we do this? And I think it just shows, it's a different style of play. It's not run and gun. It's strategically based. So.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Well, and I personally, I don't know about you guys, but I got really mad that in Darkest Dungeon, when they did the latest update, that none of the heroes got regenerating health, or that it just wasn't press X to clear the dungeon. So
right.
I just,
or you can just start at the beginning of the dungeon when your characters died.
Yeah.
Or you could just like walk across all the dead bodies and you would miraculously get all your health back.
What was it? What was the first game? Wasn't it the first game I remember that had basically infinite lives? Was the Prince of Persia for Xbox, right? Like the 3D Prince of Persia, or was it for Xbox 360?
It was Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah, but that was the one. That was the first time that like you could just die and just read like checkpoints became a thing, which I thought was interesting. Like, because there was a big uprising about that. Like, what do you mean there's no lives? I can like, how easy is that? I can just keep going. But then I feel like they use that mechanic now to crank up the difficulty because there's checkpoints, but now that there's checkpoints and infinite lives, we're gonna make it really fucking hard to get from checkpoint A to checkpoint B.
Yeah.
I had an in-depth conversation with Victor about, and you're gonna hate this, Tom.
I do hate Victor.
I know you don't hate Victor, but
you're gonna hate Victor.
You're gonna hate the conversation we had because it was all about BioShock, and we discussed like. Because I asked him, because he's always bitching about how much he doesn't like BioShock. And he's like, he's like, I'm not the only one who feels this way. And we really had to talk about specifically stuff like the Big Daddies. Mm-hmm. And that was a breaking point for me too, like where you'd go and fight them and then die. And you just got to fight them all over again with like 3/4 health or whatever, half health or whatever it was. And to me, that wasn't challenging enough. Like, that game isn't built around the challenge of that. Like, how much cooler would it have been if it took a year for somebody to fucking complete that game as opposed to, like, 10 hours or whatever it was of their time to get that. So
I mean, okay, well, my first question is, what game has there been in the last 10 years, in the last decade, that's taken a year to complete? I mean,
I'm just saying,
huge
like,
games
in general.
That's
Ninja Gaiden, maybe. Like, Ninja Gaiden was fucking hard as shit. That new one that was made for Xbox.
That wouldn't take a year to complete.
It was, but it wouldn't. It doesn't matter what you do. Eventually, people.
Weeks.
Yeah, you cannot write an AI script that's ever going to compete with human intellect. You have to do one of two things. And they had this problem with Quake 3 Arena when they released it. They said,
"How did I know you were going to find a way to reference Quake?"
Well, no. And the reason I'm saying this, no, this is, you're going to really like this. And the reason I said this is because people were using the bots as, like, not everybody had internet connections at the time. So a lot of people are just going to LAN parties. You know what I mean? They were doing the big tournaments. So they were practicing with the bots. The bots were their main form of competition, unless their friend could come over or whatever it was. So it got to the point where everybody was demanding, make the bots harder, make the bots harder, make the bots harder, make them harder. And John Carmack said, I can't make them any harder, dude. So the team said, well, let's make them cheat. They can shoot through walls now. Every once in a while they'll clip. Yeah, and even then, the top players, even then, the good players, just the decent players in the community, would still beat the bots 90% of the time,
Hmm.
and the bots were cheating.
Yeah.
So it gets to a point where it's like, yeah, especially for a single player game, it's like, dude, how do you make it? Where's that balance between I want to challenge the player versus I want to cheat the player?
Hmm.
It's the old Ghosts and Goblins. Ooh, Ghosts and Goblins was really good at that. It was we challenged the player, but we didn't cheat them, and but that was like one instance in very, very, in a lot. So, if it sounds to me like it's a really good game. It sounds to me if it can even remotely mimic that, it sounds to me like that game you guys are playing is fucking doing its job. It's
And
doing
I
really.
don't. And if I understood your point about Bioshock correctly, it was that it wasn't challenging enough. Correct?
Yeah.
And Bioshock's not about the challenge. Bioshock is about the story and the world. I mean, that's the whole thing
Right.
of that. Um,
But
So-
like, I think the other thing too that I found interesting about it was like the first half of it was discovery. Second half of the game just felt way too long. I don't know. I don't. Anyways, we're not talking about that. We can get into that another time. So I guess why don't you go next, Tom?
I don't really have a good example. I was actually excited to hear what Arthur thought about Darkest Dungeon in that patch. I mean,
I guess I could talk about some stuff.
we can talk about bad patching as far as like I feel NetherRealm Studios with Mortal Kombat has done a not very good job of gauging their patches for their community, and what I mean by that is they kind of drop balance patches to the game really randomly, and they don't prime anyone for it. They just kind of go for it. It's like, hey, we're gonna patch the game. Oh, there's a tournament in 2 weeks. Doesn't matter. Drop and patch.
Wow.
Where Capcom has done a really good job with Street Fighter is as they're working towards the patch, they're releasing change logs and letting people look at it and getting feedback. So it's kind of a 50-50, right? But I can't think in a long time of a game, like aside from like a game patch totally breaking the code, I can't think of an example in my gaming lately that like I've seen a patch that's made me mad. I feel like it's all been pretty fair. I guess dropping Scorpion for Injustice was stupid, but
Well, I mean, so that actually kind of plays into like I wrote down on my list of notes introduction of characters because that doesn't just I was thinking along the lines of like introducing new races for like say World of Warcraft or something like that.
yeah.
And how that can break a game. And then I was thinking about that. I'm like, oh shit, fighting games. Like, how often do they introduce a new player? And then everybody fucking rolls that guy.
And depending on how the balance fits, if the character doesn't fit within the confines of the game, or they patch certain things, changing of frame data. By the way, I want to shout out to GKL220. Welcome to the show. Hello. Just got a new PC, so welcome to the Master Race. So, quick introductions. Vance
Nice,
is the
dude.
PC Master Race. Lance, Arthur, and I are kind of a blend. Lance doesn't really PC much, but Arthur and I are the mixture. So anyway, going on. But yeah, so continue, Lance. But with fighting games, I mean, it can completely throw off the balance of the game.
Yeah, I mean, remember back when I think it was Soul Calibur 2, and they had Spawn and a couple other players, and they were fucking overpowered as shit. Like, why does the guest player always like just and then I think it was 4 or 3. No, I think it was Soul Calibur 4 had Yoda, and you couldn't
And
fucking
Darth
grab him.
Vader.
Yeah, and you couldn't grab Yoda at all. And it's like, and then Link was on GameCube, and
GameCube, right.
I never played him because I never really played GameCube, but I always heard about how overpowered he was. And it's like the balance just, I mean, introducing these people that aren't part of the game and just breaking the game.
But when I think that, and then you bring that up, that actually makes me think of Smash Brothers when they dropped Ryu into Smash Brothers. And I don't think he was OP, and I didn't play him, but it was funny because when he came out, the uprising of the community was very, like, a lot of people were like, well, he's too hard to play because he has input codes. Like, most Smash Brothers, your 1 or 2 buttons hold a direction, but with Ryu, you had to, down diagonal toward fireball, different motions to perform his moves, and some of the Smash community was like, well, this is too hard. It's like, well, yeah, but
a real fighting game.
He's a street, well... Smash has its stuff. I don't want to say it's not a real fighting game, but I will say that I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I play a mean Game & Watch.
Bam.
Bam.
After listening to Arthur talk, I kind of had this, not a realization, but I bitch a lot in first-person shooters when you get a. I hate late patches. That's what I really hate. I hate when you're in a game for 6 to 8 months and then all of a sudden they patch guns and fuck everything up. Like I remember there was this patch for Battlefield 3 that hit PC fairly early. I want to say it was like 6 months in, but prior to that, the FAMAS was just amazing.
Yeah.
Like you could just
Super
wreck house
accurate.
with it, and that happened on PC way earlier than it happened on Xbox and PlayStation. And we finally got it. Like I think it was only like probably 4 months before Vietnam came out or whatever. I think it wasn't very long before that, but it like completely broke the game for me. I had no desire. Like if you can't bounce the games or the guns right off the bat, like why is it such a problem for me to use a certain gun? Where in a first person shooter like Battlefield or Call of Duty, they like tier these weapons that, in my opinion, in real life probably are not going to be. You're going to find something that works for you. So why can't that be the same way in a game? I hate late patches, but I will say this, kind of tying into what Arthur was saying. Bungie has released patches, tons and tons of patches, and just reworked all their guns in Destiny. But they've actually given a why. They're like, we didn't design the auto rifle to be the one size fits all gun. Like, we don't want people to be able to snipe with an auto rifle. We want an auto rifle to be short distance, high intensity stuff like that. I mean, they've broken some things along the way because they want to make. The hard part with Destiny is they want to make exotic weapons feel more powerful than a normal weapon, but yet,
a gun that you have to get the husk of from a drop and then kill 1,000,000 guys with, worthless.
Yeah,
And then also
one
get
is-
like
that's
super
so
rare
funny.
artifacts to upgrade to its final form.
I should go get that fucking gun now because I bet after this next patch it's gonna be insanely good.
Dude, man, I spent so much time working on that gun until I got to the point where you had to get something from that creepy Broodwitch looking lady, and I just remember talking to some of the dudes in our group. And they're
Broodwitch,
like,
not from
Aqua Teen
Aquatine.
Hunger Force, yes,
The
sir.
Brood Witch.
Broodwitch, sun-dried tomatoes. But yeah, it was really. They were like, "Oh yeah, power-wise, this thing isn't even like close to as good as the gun you have now." I was like, "Well, fuck! I put like 20 hours into this thing, really." And it's the coolest looking gun, but it's just the shittiest. So
I
that-
don't have any patience for the like treasure hunt of needing all the different stuff, like something new, something old, something blue, something borrowed. I don't just to get a gun. I don't. I could never get into that in Destiny. So
that fetch quest thing. You never get into that fetch quest dough.
that fetch quest. Fetch
fetch
quest.
quetch. What's a fetch quetch?
It's a game I'm working on.
Oh, cool! I like it. I'm in.
Yeah.
Vance, I want to hear your input on this.
Well, I can tell you from my experience.
So when Quake 3 got patched.
No, I was gonna actually say Counter Strike. No, I
How
mean
about Team Fortress?
Team Fortress. Yeah, I mean these are all games that have benefited from the big patch. Battlefield 4 was a huge one. Sometimes patches do a couple different things. They introduce new content, they fix old content, but and then you have like the third variable, which is they make it playable. They fix the code. So a patch is always a good thing, in my opinion. Sometimes it's not always the patch that you want,
But it's the patch you deserve.
it's the patch the game deserves. That's true. I mean, I kind of look at expansions as patches as well. If you really think about it, And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, no, and like, well, if you really think about it, come on, it's really what it is. It's a huge patch. I mean, StarCraft 2 would StarCraft 2, or I'm sorry, would StarCraft be as iconic as it was without Brood War?
Hmm.
And that's all Brood War was, an expansion pack. It was a patch, basically. And would Brood War be as balanced as it is without the 15, 20 patches that it took to get the game to the state? I mean, it's still to this day considered the most balanced game, the most balanced RTS on the planet, and it's something that no one else has achieved. No one else has even gotten close to. That's kind of how I look at patches. You also got to remember that not everybody, some patches that you look at, you might be going, well, I don't really agree with that.
Sure.
Whereas there might be 20 or 30 players on the other side going, oh yeah, Yeah, that was a great patch. I love that. And I figured this out about the whole World of Warcraft. I remember when they would patch for every new Gladiator season. There would always be the yays and the nays. So as a game designer, this is really frustrating. How do I make everybody happy? And the reality is you can't.
Yep,
Um,
exactly.
my advice, if a game company came up to me, and this is coming, if a game company actually asked me for my advice, I'd be floored. I'd be absolutely mystified why they would even bother. But I would say, don't worry about pleasing the masses as much as making a game that works. Um, make the game that you want to play. You know what I mean? That's the only people, in all reality, that's the only people that you can really please, that you have any control over. The rest, hopefully the rest falls into its place, you know what I mean? If you make a multiplayer game, obviously you're not going to be pandering to the single player components of consoles and whatnot. You're going to make a game for multiplayer, and if you're not a multiplayer aficionado, then you're going to make a shitty game.
I think that's a good place to make everybody think and ponder about life, and maybe go watch some Mister Rogers. So,
Well, yeah. What's funny is I get complaints all the time from kids, especially from school. From not so much anymore, but when I was going to school, when I first completed school, you always had those single player goofballs that were like, they would start ragging on the single player components of multiplayer games. Oh, Battlefield single player was horrible. Well, dude, it's Battlefield.
built for multiplayer.
Yeah, it's Battlefield, bro. Why don't they patch the single player? And you kind of want to just
I'm
slap
gonna
them
go to a
in the face.
hamburger joint and order a pizza.
Exactly, and then they serve you a pizza, and you're like, this isn't a very good pizza. It's like people that go to Subway and order a pizza, and they go, this is a sucky pizza. Like, yeah, dude, you're getting a pizza at Subway. Like, I don't know how far your head's up your ass, but probably want to check that at the door. So that's if that's the one word of wisdom that comes out of my mouth is game companies don't worry about pandering to people that aren't going to be playing your game. Don't
All right.
don't yeah. Don't patch
All
it
right,
for
words to live by. Vance.
Don't
Game
patch me, bro.
companies, hire this man. Hire
Don't-
him.
Don't deviate. Don't deviate. Stay the course.
All right. So if you have any other questions for us, feel free to send them to at Chuck Sweat, at Thomas Winkley, at The Diplomat. There's an underscore in there. At Vancination, at EID Podcast. You can send us any questions you have. Tweet at us.
Send us hate mail.
Send us hate mail.
Hate mail's
Lance
fun.
at entertainmentisdead.com. Thomas at entertainmentisdead.com. And I think we have an info or
Blank,
something.
you keep hitting those neckbeards. Keep hunting them down. Yep, keep looking for those neckbeards.
All right.
Keep doing it. Neckbeards
I
for
think
life.
I'm going to make a mold of a gnome that's based on Thomas Winkley's image.
Dude, I like
Dude.
it.
Put it in a bikini. Give the people what they want.
That
Give the
dick game
people
is
what
strong,
they
bro.
want.
I'm going to give him high set shorts.
I said
For
short
for
gnome.
your high set dick.
It's a dick.
God almighty. I'm pushing the button that makes us go away. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for trolling in chat. Dylan, you're a gentleman and a scholar. Don't forget, guys, fundraiser for lupus, September 18th. This channel, 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. Sponsored by Newmont University, Salt Lake Comic Con, Larry H. Miller Group.
Wow. Really?
And anybody else that we can think of right now? Those are the three right now.
Those are the only three I can
Those are
think
only three at the moment. Gonna be a good time. We'll be playing tons of games, bunch of Twitch streaming. I think I'm honestly probably just gonna play like Mario, the first level of Mario Brothers on repeat for 24 hours. It's gonna be sweet.
All right, and we are out.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good
Blank.
night.
Godspeed.
Actually, I think this was.
Nah, I don't know about that. I don't know where the button is that makes us go away.